line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here back on PTM Racing TV. Welcome here, and we are ready, set to go now for this track on position. It is time to get down to business here on PTM Racing TV. Now to the show with what we present to you today, as I'm gonna have to read this off: the Dodge Duck Dip Dive and Dodge Invitational. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Christian Shire, join you guys here today as we're getting ready to finish up our qualifying laps here on the show. Drivers are preparing up for battle here and ready to settle them down onto the track here. So as we get set to go for our action today, it's time to take a look at your starting lineup today for the Dodge Duck Dip and Dive Dodge Invitational at Martinsville Speedway's Martinsville, Virginia track. It's time to see our track drivers here on the start. And on the pole, Paul Ellison gets the number 55 on the front road. It is outside John Kay in the 2. Row number 2, it's Ryan Dye in the 15s outside Stephen Durham in the 87. Row number 3 is Michael Dean in the 73 is outside Garrett Rainey piling it up in the number 1. Row number 4, we see Paul Sargent in the 49s outside is Jeff Langston in the 21. Row number 5 is Mr. Michael Crawl in the 11, and then John Van Leer in the 5. Row number 6 is Carson Mitchell in the 4. As outside is Josh Maxwell in the 8. And row number 7, we then will see it piloted down. That will be strung up by Andy Palicki in the 32. Is outside Pascal Samar in the 76. And row number 8, Will Solomoni is going to pilot the 99. He's outside is Jeff McKinnon, or Jeremy McKinnon. Row number 9 is Corey Rutherford. In the 50 is outside Eric Breeding in the 26, yep. And then next row back will be Kyle Dubig in the 18. Brandley Gainey Jr. will be in the 22. Row number 11 is going to be Kyle Zittel in the number
Yeah, that'll be the number 53. And his outside will be Ronnie Roberts in 28. Final starters in this one, Sam Dunaway in the 6-7, David Fay piloting in the 8, with Greg Roberts piloting in 3. I know I probably have butchered a name or two in there or made a mistake on there. Again, I know I am not getting these names down as quick as I should, so. Will Salamoni in the 99 here, looking to get something going here for him and his crew. Jan Van Leer in the number 5 as well. Then definitely have his hands full, but up front again with the front runners. They are the commanders. They are the structured drivers to set our field into motion. Off the distance in the corner number 3, down into turn number 4, awaiting the green flag start. Paul Ellison will lead the charge in our pack to the front. It's time for it here. Let the Invitational begin. Backing them down off of the first set of corners. We go into turn number 3 and 4. Ryan Dye in the 15 moves one up. John Kay puts one back down. All Ellison early advantage here with the 150 lap shootout still at hand. 150 laps with these beasts and these big old truck series is not going to be an easy task. And honestly, this is where I feel like that 550 horsepower package actually does come quite in handy here with these drivers that comes into position for them long-term shot versus long-term gain. You can see a lot of guys got to try to muscle their way through them, just kind of punch their way to that bottom lane, as that's where you're going to get most of the run from. Carson Mitchell gets a piece of it there. Jan Van Leer, the 5, straight to the inside, taking position. Down across the back straightaway, though, we fielded in the number 32, Andy Palicki, getting some movement in the back. It's the Ford F-150 machine to kind of squeak his way around. Has a nice clean move there, getting a good shot as he looks to get to the man that's been pretty much a dominant factor in these races, and the 21 of Jeff Langston. Langston, one of those cats, man, you just can't keep your eye off of, and you can't really turn your head from, because he's always in that picture, he's always in that hunt, making drivers kind of question left and right, when will he strike next, or when will he get advantages from? Popping up through the corners here, back in position. Everyone's still hot on the charge, hot on momentum here. Everyone looking for ground clearance, looking for the runs. Michael Krall in the 11 here, still hanging on. He's had a good showing here on PTM Racing TV before, but he needs to start to really dip and dive and strike it wrong here if he wants to have any control of this racing background or any control of the season. Marching out, we go on board here with Sam Dunaway, the 67, another driver that really, in my opinion, you haven't seen truly the full experience of, considering how much of an I-rating he possesses and how much speed he controls. He's been kind of one of those slow cats, man. Like, you know he's there, you know he can get the speeds going, but he seems to almost have kind of lost a little bit of that, kind of that full control and full power, and he kind of gets stuck on the back pretty quickly, pretty easily. And with a track like this, let's just say you don't want to get stuck on the back very far, if ever. Because again, it's a paperclip track and it's a half-mile length. So do you really think for 1 second that if you're in the back of this field, you're gonna have an easy task in the front? All I can say is I'd love to figure out what kind of drinks you're having, because I'm gonna need a few of them to get through this one. But nevertheless, back on the board here we go. Ryan Dye in the 15. He stole the second place spot earlier from John Kay, entering into the inside corner. Now trying to get to the Toyota Tundra of Paul Ellison. Ellison giving him plenty of room down there in that 55 Tundra, right? But as he continues to march the field in and keep the track online, if we go on board with him, as you see, Dye not getting too much of a run on him. Pretty interesting, though, to see actually Ellison driving up so wide as he is right now into the corners. Almost to me like maybe he's kind of just trying to be a little bit more temperamental. Whoa! Hold on a minute down there. Speaking of temperamental, trouble there into the corner. Andy Palicki. And the 32 wrecked out, and there's a big collision course up ahead. Jeremy McKinnon gets slammed into the wall protection in the 12 as well, with major troubles for him. Oh my, that went straight south for the winter here in a minute. Let's take a look at the replay. You literally just can't even hold your breath for like 2 seconds there at Martinsville Speedway before some kind of chaotic nature happens. McKinnon trying to avoid trouble with Palicki. You can see he gets a little clip, truck gets spun out and slams her right into the wall protection. And that engine goes kaput, and it is not going to get any help there. We'll take a look at Andy Palicki's little wreck here, unfortunately, as he came right off of turn number 3 and 4. And you can see right here, he was loose entering in that turn, trying to get to Jan Van Leer in that 5. And the OxyClean, Jan gets just a little bit too loose, kind of clips him on the side, and ends his run. And what a tough break for Andy Palicki. Came out here, qualified pretty well here, had a pretty good run. Looked for a good pass on that corner. And now he's going to have to try to make up the ground here with Jan Van Leer. Both drivers, unfortunately, racing for some real estate, and neither one getting any advantages from it. You get to see how tight it is for that 5 and how tight it was for this 32. And Palicki thought he had room. Almost saved it with that one, but like I saw a minute ago, got that clip and now has to go into pit road to get the damage cleared up with his team. Wow. That's just how crazy things can change on a heartbeat here on PTM Racing TV. Okay, now, for those at home that are not well aware, and you're probably wondering at home too, what the heck of a name of a race is this? The Dodge Duck Dip Dive and Dodge Invitational. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I had no idea too. But then it kind of hit me, and I even got warned about this too. Tonight's race is presented in part by the fact that this is 18 years anniversary of the movie Dodgeball. You guys may have heard of it. That was when the Zittel Incorporated and Work in Progress Racing had come together here to kind of keep this, to kind of make this race, kind of come up with this idea, this kind of track. And they are working in with the Global Gym Trucks, so they are having a little debate down there. That's why you see that 55 of Paul Ellison having the colors of the opposing team, the team that is, of course, as we know, the big bad daddies of the track. And then you see the big yellow trucks. Those are the underdogs, if you will, the guys that are trying to make a name, trying to make a statement for themselves in so many regards, so many levels. And that is where this whole scenario, this whole team base came from. So it's a little different, it's a little goofy, but in racing, I love anything that's kind of like that. And they take it very seriously, so let's have a little fun with it as we get back to the racing. So yeah, if you see those black trucks with the purple outline, or you see the yellow with the red outlines, that is Team Trucks representing for this movie race tonight. That is now 18 years old. And by the way, if you've never seen the movie Dodgeball, actually a really good show. Actually a really good movie, by the way. I've watched a bit of it. I've watched a good chunk of it. It's a fun show. You'll movie, you'll love it. Be sure to check it out, guys. So yeah, Zittel Incorporation and Work in Progress, they're supporting the Global Gym Trucks, and the RNS and Billy Bad Butt Motorsports, they are supporting the Average Joe paint scheme. So if you guys are kind of a little confused, the Average Joe paint schemes are the yellow and red. Those big black and purple trucks, those are Global Gym Trucks. So get that out of the way real quick, and because I haven't seen the movie in a while, so I apologize for my horrible reinterpretation of the movie, but I can guarantee you that it is a good movie and you should go check it out. Anyway, back on board right now, Will Salamone here, kicking his run in the 99. Salamone coming off a great little hiccup or two, and I guess he give a little push there to Pascal Simard here. Guess he got to help himself there, back from the days of running at Dover, had a little fun kind of messing with him. As the rest of the field just continue to drive her on, do their own little thing, moving right back to the inside here, jumping to the inside corner, watch out for the 4, Carson Mitchell, ho-ho! Almost got a piece of that Global Gym Truck of Corey Rutherford in the number 50. Almost took his left rear corner panel straight to the shadow around there. That's not where you want to go. Field facing the way back on around here. Eric Breeding representing for the Average Joes. He's trying to make a bit of a showcase for this team, as he's got Sammy Dunaway right behind him. We talked about him earlier, having a bit of a bad qualifying start and getting put in the slot there. He really felt like he didn't want to be in. Eric Breeding not far behind, unfortunately, going in the 19th slot after qualifying 18th. Steven Durham and the Michael Dean 73 and 87 respectively right now. Both drivers kind of duking it out a little bit, making their position and their faces well known. I believe kind of supporting the schemes there as well for the average Joes, as we've got one maybe not so average there in the global gym department, stretched out. Did somebody throw a huge dodgeball at him and knock him out silly there? That's Kyle Zittel, by the way, in the victory, your feature winner of the first race ever here on PTM Racing TV with the Venom Truck Series at Daytona International Speedway. Well, let's see what kind of dodgeball slams Zittel out of the race here and out of the pack. Thankfully, he's got some teammates that get tagged back in to help him out, and Paul Ellison's kind of helping him out already, but... Well, just like just in the movie, I guess no one liked the Global Gym boys, and Josh Maxwell got him a piece of it there out of turn number 1 and 2. Although, to be real and fair and honest for a minute, I do not think that Maxwell intentionally tried to get him there. It's just one of those Martinsville racing ordeals. That's someone once said, that's short track racing right there. And it is definitely a contact sport, and that is unfortunately part of our deal. Zittel will have to fall back behind as he's currently now having to watch Maxwell kind of stay in position. And again, to my drivers we've talked to earlier and plenty of times here on the show, if I do mess up on your name or I mess up on something, again guys, just let me know so I can fix that. I know I've messed up on Jan Van Leer's name plenty of times. Salamoni literally had to go and correct me a bunch of times. And again, I really don't intentionally try to mess your names up. I really don't. I want to try to get everyone's names right so we don't keep messing that up, but there's just so many people that come through our doors, come through the broadcast and everything. I have such a hard time kind of keeping track of everything. Well, nevertheless, though, we are still in position. We are still racing this one out. Our field of drivers now will come by this next time on around. I believe we are set to go for the 1 lap to go here. The Global Gym boys there. Currently going to be put back on the lead lap as soon as Zittel and Dumick can get ahead. I swear I'm messing up on Dumick's, Kyle's last name there. I don't think it's Dumick, the way I say it, or Dumick. I think I'm saying it wrong, to be honest with you. I feel like I am. But I haven't been corrected yet, so I'm presuming I'm getting it right. Well, anyway, we're getting ready to get back to the action here, race fans. The Global Gym boys and the Average Joe is going to try and fight each other straight into the line, into the fray. As we are, looks like, still under caution. I think they may have a problem getting a hold of Zittel and Dumick here. I think that is the troublesome spot right now here. I think they're trying to get them back ahead of the lead car. And it looks like they're going to kind of make it a little bit of an ejectory here. They're going to give them space to run it out. They are going to be put a lap down if they're passed, though. They are not your race leaders, for clarification here. But they are going to get a jump start, go right around, and try to stay ahead of the field as our green flag flies on out. We are back underway now. Uh-oh, there could be some trouble back in the mix here. They turn number 1 and 2. Got cars spinning around. One gone straight into the into the water barriers. That was a 17 at Garrett Rainey there. Unfortunately, got sideswiped there from the ends of the spectrum. I don't know what happened to him exactly. We'll have to look at the replay. I can only catch so much of it. Looked like there might have been a 3-wide salute entering into that turn. And into that fray, causing Rainey to lose plenty of time and plenty of positions for his troubles. We'll take another look at it. Oh yeah, he got a huge lick of that number 2, the 73. You see Michael Dean gets clipped. There's the 17. There goes Rainey into the grass, then into the water barriers. And those barrels, I can tell you one thing, I've hit those things before. They're not exactly friendly. The number 15, Ryan Dye here, pumping up with the speed, trying to get up there to Ellison right now, trying to hang on, trying to keep speed up ahead. As we look on with Ryan Dye starting to move the chains in. And just as a side note, as a former amateur pro bowler, I will say that seeing that Storm Bowlers Company logo on a truck, or any car in that matter in iRacing, is pretty fun and pretty cool to see. So I'm just going to say that right now. Oh, wait, got cautioned out. Wait a minute, what's going on down there with Paul Sargent? Got clipped in the back there. The original caution was for Rodney Roberts in the 28, but I think we have another little deal for Paul Sargent there. I guess instead of one, we're going to have to go take a look at 2 replays here, but here's the first one. Our camera's focused in on this one here. This is the Halloween number 28, Rodney Roberts here on your screen. Entering into that turn a little too hot. Brakes weren't quite checking it up, and around she goes. Everybody trying to avoid trouble, and in that same ordeal, Paul Sargent there, you see, getting the old bump and tag there. We're taking a look at it here from his angle. The driver behind him is the number 50. That is piloted down by Corey Rutherford. Entered into the turn tight. Had a good opening in the inside. Lift up a little bit coming from the apron. And Sargent just getting that nice little clip, little short track ordeal. But I don't know if they will give him that position back. It appears he's going to go into pit road to clear some damage up. So it looks like that doesn't really matter at this point for him. But he is going to lose a lot of traction in time just because of that little hit there, unfortunately. And that's going to be a tough break for him. Well, the chaos just doesn't seem to come ending around here on PTM Racing TV. And, you know, 150 laps from Martinsville, to be honest with you guys, that's not a whole lot. That's actually pretty quick of a race, considering some of the races we've called before. Half miles and quarter miles with races like this, to me, are absolutely perfect for what we get and what we get out of it, because you get tenfold on this. You get multiple drivers battling for position, trying to run for a race, banging bumpers and fenders together, and just a clear-cut, good old-fashioned slobber knocker on the track with some good racing mixed in between. It really makes things so much more fun and interesting here. Field working their way around here as currently those old Lobo Jim trucks and the Average Joe trucks trying to march their way around. But we can't seem to forget about our boys in black and blue and red and green and red and gold all around here either. We got quite a few guys still running their usual paint schemes, their style racing here. Andy Palicki making a great comeback after earlier on. Pascal Samard pace here, still dealing with him and his company. David Fay in the 88 moving 9 spots up with Greg Roberts. You saw making that little corner dive all around the number 28 of Rodney Roberts earlier as that last caution came out. Roberts is 11 spots up. Not the Hard Charger Award winner yet, but he's coming close to it. And actually, he will be tied there on the restart here with Corey Rutherford in 12 spots up, I should say. So let's see if we can finish it up, though, because Rutherford still got some time to go. Looking to break the pace here. Off the distance in the corner, number 3 and 4 race fans. We bring him back to the green. Our lights flicker on here in Martinsville, Virginia. And the green flag lights flicker on. We're back at it. Oh, the usual dive it in deep, kind of nose dive off turn number 1 for the drivers here at Martinsville Speedway. chaos ensues and pandemonium encounters. That's the beauty of this track in the paperclip style. Off the distance speed, so traveling through, we going right down on the front straightaway to the back end. Creating speeds of over 122 miles per hour. Every driver for themselves entering in that turn, just trying to hold a line, trying to hang on. Down on the edges though, Michael Crawl moving the chains underneath the Oreo 99 as Will Salamoni tries to hang in there and trying to put it up to a good shot in the Nard. Danny Palicki looks on as well as the onboard camera. We go on board with him. Michael Crawl, I think, trying to seemingly make it seem like it's just an illusion in front of the 32 that he is ahead of him. But I don't think that is the case there, Palicki. I think actually Crawl is ahead of you. And Salamoni, way too wide off the distance from the concrete surface into the asphalt plains. Troubles for the 99. Oh, there's even more trouble though for Pascal Simard. Simard opened the door up, now swinging to the inside. Salamoni getting a great drive on the inside. You just can't make mistakes like that though, but at the same time, you gotta dive it in deep and try to get that truck to actually stay as low to that surface right around that grassy plain to gain the most amount of speed, but also just to try to hold on when you get bumped and banged a little bit. Carson Mitchell watching that on as another caution flies. Garrett Rainey involved in this one, the 17. Well, there is a reason why they call this place the Madhouse. It's a crazy little track, and you're seeing why that is now. Well, there was a little bit of action, actually, before we kick to what happened to the 17. Here's a little camera look at this. 49 getting pretty much stopped on a dime there with the 88. That was David Fay and Paul Sargent. And here's what happened to Garrett Rainey, entering into the corner down in turn number 3 and 4. And once again, I'm not sure there's a slick spot down there, or they're just over-accelerating in that corner. But Rainey overdrives it, sends it on its cliff and into the no man's land. We'll take a look at his onboard camera. Listen carefully to his braking as he enters that corner. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm hearing that brake throttle. That thing is not getting this truck slowed down enough. Way too much power and way too much on the RPMs. I mean, granted, I'm not a mathematician and I'm no racing expert, but I do know at least how to run Martinsville to a degree. And when you're over hitting the throttle like that and without some braking in there, let's just say you may want to hope that this thing can not get into the wall, because that generally is what happens next. So after that little ordeal there, though, only our 4th caution of the day. But multiple drivers, though, in turn 3, it seems like. Turn 1 and 2 have been kind of okay. 3 and 4, though, I'm not sure if there's a slick spot down there, or maybe some of these guys are just over power and trying to overdo the track. But they're not giving themselves much room, and they're also making things a lot more difficult on themselves. They're going to have to be careful here and really start to dictate the pace and be careful, because more trouble like that, and that could lead to even more issues down the line, down the road. Field will enter into the corners and enter through our track here right now currently as we look on at this gorgeous facility here. Let's take a look at our track tech talk for the info today, ladies fans, here as we currently are under caution. Here is your track tech talk of the Dodge Duck Dip Dive and Dodge Invitational here. This is Martinsville Speedway, of course, just under a half mile. Really, we call it a half mile because if you go around the entire outside, it's a full half mile. But this track, I'm telling you guys, this place is chaos and madness all around. Really banking? What banking? It's literally the most flattest of tracks you can get. You see drivers getting punted, you see drivers getting spun, you get a hit every now and then in the back or the front. It's chaos. It is absolutely nuts. The paperclip is its nickname, and there's a reason it was given that nickname. It designed and shaped looked like an actual paperclip style track. with corners that you just have to literally send it straight into and hope that it'll rotate out enough and somebody doesn't come and take you out later. Off the distance and into corner number 3 and 4. Let's bring him back to the line once again. Off the distance. Paul Ellison, the 55. We'll get our driver started. We line it back up. Green's back out. Oh, this could get a little interesting there. Entering the corner 1 and 2. You saw Michael Crawl and Carson Mitchell duking it out a little bit. Switchblading it back and forth with one another. Still double file entering in 3 into number 4. Corey Rutherford and the number 50 getting a good jump on the inside there in 3 and 4. Gets now right up to Ryan Dye in the 15. Trying not to overextend that braking as well as those tires. Going that far wide, trying to power out of it, can end up shredding those tires up more. And the last thing you want to do is to over-accentuate on that truck. The smoother you are, the more consistent you become, the better your truck can handle later on. More power for the long haul, and you've seen like guys like Jeff Langston use that to fullest potential. Onboard camera here with Stephen Durham here in the number 87. He's currently having to put the South Point Casino on the outside, dealing with the 32 of Andy Palicki to his inside. Michael Crawl right in front of him. Logan Hall coming on board saying go insert coin. Number 73, Dean 22, Gainey, and 5 of Van Leer, and number 8 of Maxwell. Logan, great to have you on board. Martin, we'll probably say your name wrong, but Peppery, Boricue, saying Martinsville, like it used to be, but it's great flat, like to race. It is indeed, my friend. It's a very tight little track and surface to deal with. I absolutely adore putting the SLM series and the street stocks out here, but this is going to be a huge wreck sitting on the back straightaway. Corey Rutherford loses it in the turn, takes a couple with him, and unfortunately we bring back the caution flag. Oh my goodness, that was a huge hit there. Rutherford seems a-okay truck-wise. Well, let's just say it may have seen some better days. Take a look at this. So Carson Mitchell and him beating and banging fenders together. Rutherford trying to get back on the line. Little bit of a glitch-graphic gremlin coming in there. Unfortunately, that's a huge little knockoff there. Andy Palicki didn't even realize what hit him until literally nothing hit him. I'm not sure what forces at odds had gotten into his system, but that definitely gave him a good nudge and a hit there. Let's take a look at it from his onboard camera. And again, when you got someone like that doing a wreck like that here, there's no room for error. There really is absolutely no room. You got nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to run. And something like this definitely makes things so much more difficult and more challenging to have to work with. Now, right here, man, this looks like some pretty good racing. Putting the corners together, putting the fenders back into one another, living up to the Martinsville reputation. But then Rutherford, unfortunately, runs into a glitch-graphic gremlin, then Palicki gets it, Salamone gets a piece of it, and everybody else tries to shuck dive and try to get out of the way of that. Now that I think about it, that could look like a couple dodgeballs getting thrown at you, and now you're just trying to avoid it if you think about it. Certainly fits the name of the race today, that's for certain. Top 5 on your screen right now. We'll go over their track positions as well. Paul Ellison, the 55. He qualified first. He started first. He continues to lead the boys up ahead. Second place right now, surprisingly, Paul Sargent, mainly due to his pit strategy here. He went into pit road at lap 35, where other drivers are going in at lap 56, lap 48 as well. We'll have to see if this strategy holds up long term or if it will be a bit of a mishap here later in the run. The 28 of Rodney Roberts here, the hard charger of the day. The Havoline machine is 19 spots up right now. Clear truck, clean looking machine. Looking to continue to strive and conquer. Garrett Rainey, the 17, currently 4th place. Started back at 6th, currently 2 spots up. Trying to hang in there. And then, of course, the man of all odds, Jan Van Leer, the number 5 Boxing Clean. He started 10th. He's 5 spots up now. Will he be able to keep the 5 train going, or will he find himself in a bit of a scrap heap with some of these drivers in a little bit? pace lights are off on the caution on the pace truck now. We are ready to get set back to the action. At race fans here on PTM Racing TV, we certainly cannot do without you. We certainly do appreciate your support and all that. But I would like to ask you as well, if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy this here, we would like you to go ahead and subscribe to our Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and follow us up, share these streams around, share these videos around, because if you guys do that, we can get this show further on the road. We can get more eyes out there for these drivers and you fans as well to see more racing down the road, and we may even be able to get in some bigger names. Again, you know who we're talking about. But back to the action here. We are back live here on PTM Racing TV. The green flag flies. We're underway once more. Entering into turn number 3 and 4. And there's going to be trouble. Uh-oh, the Sergeant was able to recover. Can they keep it green? They do. Michael Kroll kind of swung back. And that's going to be yellow flag. Easy, boys. Easy. Hey, hold on down there. Hold on a minute. Pascal Simard and Brandon Gaines Jr., I hope you're not trying to put some fenders together and get some tempers put on the track right now. Maybe a little early for that, I would say. The last thing we need right now is a Kenseth Logano blow, that's for certain. Well, let's take a look at this real quick between these two. This was the initial contact there between Simard and Gainey. And Simard, I believe, did not see the yellow flag come out. I believe he was trying to get back into the throttle. And then when he realized the yellow was out, he ended up getting the 22 again. The wreck already happened, though. There was no getting around it. Take a look at some of our other guys here before we go take a look at the main cause of our wreck here. This was Greg Roberts' look here. Unfortunately, kind of clipped up. He got smashed right in the back there. It was kind of an innocent bystander in all this. The number 26 of Eric Breeding trying to avoid him. Didn't want nothing to do with him. But as we all know here on PTM Racing TV, sometimes that just does not work out that way. One last look at the initial reason for this caution flag. Watch on the top left of your screen here. But look at this, number 5 here. Paul Sargent gets a piece here. Entering in that turn 3 wide slits. The end being there, getting away from it. The rest of the field kind of pushed back into the pack though, and unfortunately everyone else just kind of thrown into the wire as the yellow flag was popped out there. So a bit of a wild goose chase, if you will, for our drivers. Everyone trying to get something going and trying to bring some speed in. Martin says he already shared 20 minutes ago. Martin, we really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for doing that. So field right now currently moving their chains up on position and on the track. Talk about having a wild day of racing though, my friends. We've seen before here what just kind of craziness happens at Martinsville Speedway. Many drivers already kind of knocked out or kind of taken out of position just due to the unfortunate circumstances that come with this place. It's not an easy race by any means, and it's definitely a challenge in its own right. But that's what makes it so much fun. And honestly, if you don't like that, then I really don't know what to tell you guys, because short track racing is a fixture of motorsports, and it's a fixture of this division and series you see here on the show. Next week, though, we're going to see them have a little bit of a recourse and maybe head up a challenge. It's the Road Course Challenge, Watkins Glen International. Next up on the list here as well, we'll see Nashville Super Speedway return with the Fast and Fun Cup Series. We're going to take July 5th off, obviously the 4th of July. We'll return on July 12th, Richmond Raceway and Road America, and then we'll bring it back there with Fast and Fun Champ Power Equipment Cup Series as well at Road America. Many great races to come, many great showcases to see here on PTM Racing TV as we bring it back to the green flag. Diving in down low on the number 4, Carson Mitchell trying to make a move off on Jan Van Leer. Jan Van Leer trying to hold up position, trying to hang in there. David Fay in the 88 now making some big corners and some big moves. He's putting the big skull and he's putting the big pistons and skulls to the good work. He's 11 up right now with company behind. Gaining Jr. trying to get back into it here. Oh, look out up front. Big wreck in turn number 4. That was one of your top 5 companions there. Jan Van Leer gets a piece of the Martinsville pavement. And man, oh man, oh man. Just absolutely chaotic, my friends. It just cannot stop. I mean, that's what we look for in these races, but still. At this point, might be a good time to get the popcorn out. Michael Dean, he looked like he tried to back off for Jan, but Michael Kroll had other ideas, got Dean, and then kind of sent everybody in the back. All I can say is there may be a few Martinsville tempers when this is over with. Again, it's a one-line track. Let's not kid ourselves. This is really a one-line racetrack. Everyone will tell you, it depends on the series. You can get the second line to work. Well, you can get that outside to work somewhat, but let's be real with each other. The only way to get around this track is to get that inside line when you can and try to make everything work in your favor. Sometimes it doesn't always work in your favor. You can get the outside to work for so long, but eventually you're going to go to that bottom. And this is sometimes what happens here. Hard short track racing, definitely at its toughest and at its most key element. Well, we're just about halfway done with this race here, race fans. Let me know down in the comments section below, who are you rooting for? What do you think so far? And really, do you think any of these drivers can avoid the problems and the chaos that is plaguing them here on the track? Let me know down in the comments section below. Well, race fans, chaos and craziness mixed in between with some hard racing to go along with it. Certainly seems like the usual cover-up for a little racing program, doesn't it? But anyway, we still have some racing laps to go. Sun's starting to fade down here from sunset, fading into the night skies here in Martinsville, Virginia. Beautiful crowd on hand, beautiful track, and for once, it's not too hot to where I have to have that fan on. I'm actually able to breathe a little bit, so thank you again for sticking with me. I know some people were asking, like, why does your voice sound kind of raspy or coarse? Again, it's just one of those things, guys. Anyway, we're ready to get back down the action. Fire them off into the corner. Bring the green flag back out, boys. Let's get to it. Clean start, entering in 1 and 2. Mitchell on the inside, Dye on the outside, trying to make a move off here. The rest of your field currently pacing their way back up ahead. Michael Dean after that huge little head now having to deal with Sammy Dunaway in the 67, who really has been kind of staying back low here this entire race. And yet again, Martinsville claims another. Carson Mitchell here in the number 4 here has completely sent its way to the shadow realm here. Unfortunately, something going wrong there in 3 and 4. Entered in off turn 3 and 4. He actually got himself loose there, got on the apron. That's no man's land, as we talked about before. You get on that apron, there's not a lot of places to go, except for really just spinning the tires around and hoping that thing just stays on the track, but didn't happen here. You had to enter in the turn tight, though, because then you got Dye literally trying to get you on the outside, so you knew you had to get down there. Everything looked pretty good here. Got that clip though, and on the 28, and then cost himself there. What a tight little spot there, and an unfortunate issue there for Carson Mitchell in the number 4. You know, here's the funny thing too, folks. Paul Ellison, he is the only driver that has not been in pit road. And he's led this race just on the fact that he's able just to stay ahead of these guys on terms of restarts and literally just staying out of trouble. That's all he's done. He's just staying out of trouble and just kept it going. I think it's working for him, honestly. I might be able to keep it going the entire race. I don't know about that. His fuel limits may say otherwise, so. Lindsey Gainey saying this track is brutal. Oh, believe me, I know. I still don't even have a race win here. And I've raced this track numerous times. I've come close with street stocks, super late models, and even in the truck series one race. But I've never been able to get better than a second place finish here. It's just way too difficult to actually outsmart and outrace some of these guys, man. You have to time your strategy, you have to time your brake. You gotta hope that these other guys behind you and in front of you don't end up messing your entire race up. Martinsville is a brutal facility, but it is fun as it gets. For maybe all the wrong reasons or all the right reasons. You guys be the judge of that, but I love it. Martin Pepperay coming Bard saying the chat would be 18 plus of age at this point. Well, it's a bunch of good drivers, I mean it. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. But I mean, I'm gonna say this on the chat too, guys, in the comment section. Please do somewhat keep it clean. I mean, we don't care if you cuss a little bit. We're not gonna say it on air, but just try not to overdo your stuff. That's the only thing we ask. I'm gonna tell you that right now. One lap to green now, starting command structure here. We have got 70 laps left to go, and Paul Ellison right now is literally looking at every angle, every spot, just thinking, well, I've got this one to last this long, but eventually I'm going to have to go in for a fuel run. We started with 25 drivers. We're down to 19 here, so at least on lead lap. We still have 21 racing, if you can consider them being a couple laps down or quite a few laps down. But they are still in this battle. They are still in this hunt. Back to the green. We're back underway. Oh, the 3 wide slip mixed in. Mitchell wasting no time getting back at some of these boys right out of the gate. Down on the back straightaway here. Look out. This is the first battle for the race lead all day. Rainey to the inside. Fresher set of tires, but can't quite get around Ellison. Ellison with a beautiful corner off on the outside. Makes the outside line work. He's got speed and he's hanging in there. Rodney Roberts in the 28 going to work with the 50s. We got trouble down there. Stephen Durham in the 87 wrecks it right off of turn number 2. Well, at this point, I could safely say that chaos and racing kind of mixed together quite well, doesn't it? Look at this. Wait a minute. Where the heck was the 88 going with this one? He goes 3 wide saluting, and unfortunately, Paul Sargent gets him, and then the 87 Durham, actually for a spin there, kind of got a clean bed of it there. I'm not saying he got away with it, but he definitely got a bit of a wreck off that there. We'll take a look at it. That was the 18 Kyle Dumick that got him. We'll take a look at Dunaway's run here as well. What happened to him? Here's the 88, excuse me. And you can see right there, just that little clip. That's all it took. Sent back around and back into the shadow realm they go. One more look at it though from the number 88. David Fay was the one involved in this one. Now here's where he thought he saw an opening. Here's the outside. There's a 3 wide. Look at Paul Sargent though, just swinging it right in. You can see he drives up a little bit. He actually gets Samard, and that's what caused the original caution, I believe, to start up with. And I don't think Faye is too happy with Sargent. Looked like, I mean, Sargent could have probably braked it a little sooner, kept it to the bottom, but again, I have absolutely no idea how much torque those brakes are dealing with. I don't even know how much braking they have left in them, if any. Those brake rotors, they get hot under the collar, I'll tell you that much. And once they start to burn into the rubber, that's when you've got a big, big problem on your hands. Well now, race fans, we're getting ready to get back to the action here on PTM Racing TV. We're currently setting back up to go, and officially today, race fans, I can now say it too, that we are nearing the 2-year anniversary that PTM Racing TV ever started on iRacing. I recently actually had to update my iRacing account here, and actually after 2 years of service. So I know we started back in August when we really went full time with this, and that's where I'm going to count our 2 years in. So come August time, it would have been 2 years. The PT Race TV was created and started. What a wild time it's been. And with you guys, you fans at home. So thank you so much for your support. And when we get to the August marker, I think we may do a little special giveaway for that. So tell your friends, give us a like and a follow so you guys can read up on everything. Running them down off the front straightaway back from the back end here. Pack of the pack starting to skid away. Kyle Zettel on the 53. We kind of forgot all about him. He's trying to get the Globo Jim Dratz here in this field. He's looking for a fight. He's looking for a run. And right now he is currently marching into the distance here on a set of 56 pit lane lap tires. So he's got a lot more speed, a little more control than some of these other guys, and that means he can get the outside line to kick in a little bit. But Paul Sargent, the 49, trying not to let that happen so easily. Sargent's got to be careful though. He may be a sergeant at arms, but remember, if you're on a burn-in tires, you can still get bumped and clicked out of the way before you even know it. Brantley Gainey Jr. here in the number 22, dealing with the 8 of Josh Maxwell. Maxwell not exactly a clean cat today. He's had a few run-ins, same with Gainey Jr. I think everybody except Ellison's actually had a run-in with somebody or gotten kicked or flicked or hit around and actually has damage on their truck. I think Ellison's the only one that has like nothing to his name. Like, I'm kind of surprised. But Garrett Rainey trying to keep the average Joe's hopes and dreams alive and well by trying to take him on. And remember, Rainey has been in pit road already. That was back on lap 46, so maybe he might just have something for Ellison if they're not careful here. Great little battle here coming off into the distance. It's Caution flag flies back on out though. Pascal Samar and Kyle Zittel having a great little duo there, but unfortunately Eric Breeding in the 26 has thrown down the hammer on the average Joe's run. So trouble down there for the number 26, unfortunately, in the Ford F-150. Field will have to get put back together here and have to find out what exactly transpired. To the PTM Racing replay, we headed up. Okay, right around off of turn number 4 there, just got loose on himself there, unfortunately, just overdrove it, and you can see he was really trying to hammer home. Yellow flag popped out. Your flagman watching very closely here was trying to see if maybe he could get it refired before it was too little too late. Saw where the other drivers were and knew safety was going to be a cautionary tale. And race fans, we can now confirm we're going to have a new leader because for the first time today, Paul Ellison has put the 55 into pit road. A fresh set of tires and a fresh fuel tank in there will give him a chance. He'll start back in the 13th slot. He's going to have a lot of work to do, though, to get up to that group and gang up ahead of him. Lap's going to wind down, and this really couldn't be any more of a test of strength for that 55. And remember what I said earlier about him coming pretty much clean out of the rest of the field? Looks like I got to clear that up because that's not a clean truck. He's got a rear end smashed in a little bit. So absolutely nobody has come away clean on this race when it comes to a spin or even a hit or taking some damage. So I can now say everybody here at Martinsville has felt the effect of the paperclip. We will double file the field back into position now. As the field gets set back to the action now, ready to reel them down into the track area of Martinsville Speedway. We are just approaching 50 laps left to go, and I guarantee we get about 20 laps to go. There may be a few more, a little more aggressive, if you will, moves being put on. I don't think drivers are wanting to lose this one out. Winning in Martinsville, in my opinion, is like a big key race here on the circuit and on the race. And we're about to find out just how important to these guys think this is. Back to the green, we're underway. I think it's been a while since I've been able to do this, so why don't we just let the drivers do the talking, let them do the work here as we give them the chance to crank it up around here. Oh boy, hold on down there a little bit. We got problems. We've got a problem. Kyle Zettel wrecked out there in the number 53 in the turn number 1 and 2. And here's a collision course there for the 53. Excuse me, that's in 3 and 4. And you also see a 26. That's Eric Breeding coming to a dead stop as well. Have to take a look at the PTM Instant Replay and see exactly what transpired here. Looks like Paul Sargent might have been the ones involved there. Kind of wrecked out in there, unfortunately. And you saw right there, that was definitely a hit and run there from Paul Sargent, but I don't think really it was intended to be that way. I think it was kind of one of those ordeals there. One more look at it though. Yeah, you can see unfortunately he kind of took Zittel up there with him. He was trying to break it, but kind of looked a lot like what happened with Denny Hamlin and Alex Bowman a year ago there, and that was certainly something. If Sargent was somehow to win this race, I don't think Zittel's the kind of guy that would go up there and just like stop his burnout. But then again, who knows at this point? Martin saying, "Come on, drivers, let's do this. I missed a race. Do the last that one." Some of our friends and family watching on as well here on PTM Racing TV. To those that are, we really appreciate you guys coming on by and having a few words, saying a few things. It really does mean a lot to us here on the show. It's the reason why we keep doing what we're doing.
We'll double file these drivers back up in position now. Race fans, we're getting ready to get down to it again
As the field struts their way around the track. Coming near the end of this race here for the Dodge Duck Dip Dive and Dodge Invitational. And again, for those that are just now tuned in, the reason that is nicknamed that is because of the movie film featured 18 years ago called Dodgeball. That's why some of these schemes you see are from the average Joes and those global Jim Boys. That is the track. Those are the trucks in their own schemes, their own little way. Just have a little fun out here. Speaking of having a little fun right now, Carson Mitchell, he's had a lot of fun to getting foot into the spots
and he is racing this hard.
Reeling it right back around the outrack. Oh, Michael Crawl getting clipped around. Rodney Roberts also up on the turn 3 and 4 getting taken out here. And problems yet again stirred up. My word, folks. They continue to just deal with troublesome issues here as they continue to fight each other off, while also just trying to survive. At this point, it's a full-on enduro. Rodney Roberts and Paul Sargent this time around getting clipped in, and Sargent, oh, he wasn't too happy with the 28, but he ends up getting a victim in that too. The 2 gets clipped around. Now I'm really sure if Sargent just wasn't happened to be happy with that little hit that he took, but I mean that definitely was a little bit of a nudge in the run there, that for certain. Take one more look at it from the number 49's look here. This was initially what got him loose and kind of got him trapped up there. Well, you can hear the RPMs were definitely going back on Sargent. He knew he was kind of in a no man's land spot. He had to get back on the throttle or he was going to lose position, so that's why he did that. But I've always said it once, I'll say it again. You don't exactly want to make enemies on a track like this or any other races, because that can lead you into major problems down the line.
Ready to field him back in. Martin saying, love that funny movie. It's all about the good guys.
And the, well, a word I can't say on television, but you can probably guess what it is. Yeah, Dodgeball is honestly a pretty good movie. Like I said earlier, I enjoyed watching it. I honestly, I think after this race, I might have to go and kind of click it back on. I usually don't have time to do it these days with the way our schedule works and everything, but I'd certainly love to check it out again. We'll bring it right back around off of turn number 3 down to turn number 4 here. We'll get them all lined up in position. Back to our green flag start. Come in. We're back at it. Just over 45 laps remain. Uh-oh, that's not how you start the race, my friends. Pascal Samar crashed out. Troubles for Paul Sargent. The motor is gone on the number 49. Well, we'll take a look at the PTM instant replay as our camera crews are trying to get that situated out a little bit. Well, they didn't even realize they were going to have a huge wreck on the front straightaway here out of the gate. Swung right around here and a huge hit, unfortunately taken for granted, and Pascal Samar there takes a huge little corner off there and takes a big little rip off that corner, man. Well, 30 laps left. At this point, I'll put my hands in the air, and I'm just going to wave them around like I just don't care. Well, I can't say I just don't care. I care about this. Let's get back to the action. I think that was a reference from the movie. I kind of messed up on my end. Anyway, back to the action. Michael Dean, the 73, now moving up on the outside, trying to hang on. Back in the pack, though. 3 wide salute. Ronnie Roberts, Pascal Simard. And even the 18, Kyle Dumick, have a little bit of time or two up there. Garrett Rainey and Ryan Dye, though, they are the two front runners. The average Joes are hanging on to this one. Could they incorporate the movie in and get this win underway? The Globe boys are having problems down there, and Paul Ellison's having troubles maneuvering through this field. He's trying to kind of cut through everyone he can, just trying to make it work. But he's trapped on the outside. Doesn't have really anywhere place to go. Back along the back straightaway here, entering into the turn. Greg Roberts coming to look close, a little bit closer there. Everyone's kind of swinging it in. Stephen Durham moved in between. Ellison on the outside, trying to get around for the company he can. He's still got so much position left to go before he can really start making any bold moves. If he can get that inside run, I guarantee you Roberts is going to have problems with him because he's not going to be able to get around him after that. And I think Ellison knows that. He's trying to get the inside there, coming off down, but Durham blocking him just a little bit, could not get the crossover. And that crossover is so difficult to master, so difficult to control. Ryan Dye in the 15 working right behind the number 17 as they both go for position. This is some great stuff here on PTM Racing TV. We're starting to get that long haul, long run in between these boys. They're tired, they're worn out. And I guarantee you, they are probably just sweating bullets right now, just trying to get this one finished up. Mixed in between right now, Carson Mitchell going right up against the average Joes right now, trying to hang in there. And it looks like Greg Roberts might have finally found his match and maker here, if you will. He met his maker, and that 3 goes swinging it off a 3 out turn 1 and 2, unfortunately. And once again, we're going to take a look at the replay. Just nowhere to go, my friends. It's just absolutely nowhere to run off to, and you can just see it's such a tight little end of track. Ellison thought he had a run, and you can see Roberts, once he slowed down too much, Ellison just really couldn't do anything about it. You can say it was a dirty move, but again, it's just racing. Well, we're going to close off with under 20 laps left to go. Garrett Rainey in the 17, the 15 of Ryan Dye are your race leaders. Carson Mitchell in third, Michael Dean in fourth, and Josh Maxwell in fifth. And out of the 5 up ahead, there are only the 8 spots up for Carson Mitchell is the hard charger of the 5, but behind Maxwell, Brantley Gainey Jr. not far behind on the hard charger lineup, 14 spots up. With David Fay in the 88, 15 up, the ultimate hard charger so far. And it's anybody's guess at this point, just who can match it out with the rest. The crowd has not left though, not a single fan has left us, now either on our chats here or our channel. They want to see what kind of craziness will happen next.
We are doubled up once again. We're ready to get back to it, race fans. If you're ready, we're ready here. Coming off turn number 4. 18 laps remain. Somebody's going to win this one out, but who will it be? Watch the greens. It flies high. We're back at it. Entering into the turns. Everybody looking for position. And they're trying to find position when they can. Michael Kroll kind of backed into a corner there, throwing back around once more. Carson Mitchell with Michael Dean on the outside, trying to hang in there and make a move off the turn. And caution is out again. Sam Dunaway in the 67 brings this one out. And we're patrolling into very, very dangerous territory right now because, again, with about 10 laps to go, this could turn into an absolute affair just for getting positions. Dunaway, though, this was just unfortunately mental error there. Tried to get it back to the inside with his teammate in the 88, but didn't want to take him out. Did the honorable thing to kind of slow himself out, but unfortunately, this getting so late in the race, you've got to start really being careful about your marks and where you're hitting your shots from. This is definitely one of those cases. You can see right there. Once he turned that right, yeah, turning it right, and no banking, and really, okay, no, really little to no banking, and a truck that is got a lot of weight in the rear end and likes to kind of be a little more tricky. Yeah, what exactly do you think is going to happen next? Just one of the racing deals, unfortunately. A bit of a tough draw there for our drivers. Also, race fans, if you guys have not been paying attention to our Twitter handles or our account, we had breaking news just a couple of days ago. We are going to see ourselves another dirt race return to PTM Racing TV. And for the first time in a long time, we're going to see $100 on the line. It's 100 for 100 race. And it's going to be with the dirt late models right here on PTM Racing TV. You do not want to miss it. It comes to you live tomorrow night, so stay tuned with us at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. We'll catch you guys when the time comes. Off in the distance in turn 3, down in turn number 4. We're ready to send the drivers back at it once again. Into the distance, corner number 4 here, back onto a line, back into sight. 12 laps to go. Who will take this one home? The greens back out. And 3 wide salute together again, turn 1 and 2. The 15 of Ryan Dye nearly loses the turn, slams Michael Dean at turn number 2. And Garrett Brady causes a massive pile-up on the back stretch. Oh my! Oh my, this is a huge wreck, and Brantley Gady has got the entire rear end stuck on the wall protection the first time in a long time. We've seen a driver end up there. But what a huge wreck ensuing coming off of turn number 2 into the back end. My goodness, folks. Well, we've talked about how difficult some of these starts are when you're entering into a turn 1 like that. And here's part of the deal. The 15 right into the grass. Open the door up to the 17. Gets right back into the throttle. Michael Dean gets clipped.
Brantley gains here, trying to avoid trouble, gets slammed by Jan Van Leer, and the field just packs up. 5-6 trucks involved in this one. Brantley end over end on top of the wall protection, and my lord, that was a huge hit there for everybody involved, and just chaos ensuing on the track. That's what it looks like when you're upside down. Next thing you know, you're seeing drivers all around. Yeah, I think Gainey's race is done and over with, unfortunately. And Jan Van Leer's number 5 is done as well. My word. Martin, I don't think I liked what happened there. He comments with, "No!" I'm sorry, Martin, but as much as I'm an Obi-Wan fan, I cannot use that a little Darth Vader reference there. Or at least I would hope not, anyway. Hey, producers, get that out of there. I did not say to play that. They were trying to play the Darth Vader, like, no scream from episode 3. Oh, I do not need copyright here, guys. Thank you. Anyway, let's get it back up here off of turn number 4. We'll bring it right back to the end. Top 5 on your screen. Green flag's out. 6 laps to go. Come on down the back straightaway. A little clip there from Michael Kroll into the back. That was the 15 of Rainey. That guy that got the hit there. He was able to save it. Rainey now back at it fourth there. Kroll though gets slammed in the back on turn number 3 and 4. Everybody's slowing down, trying to get possessions when they can. Kroll trying to hang on. It's off the ring wide, sliding through turn number 1 and 2. Both drivers simultaneously hanging on. Stephen Durham slamming the wall off of the backstretch. Carson Mitchell, though, is right there with the 17 of Garrett Rainey. He can see victory in his eyes. With 4 laps to go, this field is completely in utter chaos, trying to figure out where the heck to even go from here. We've seen this before, but will it happen again? Will we get to a climactic sequence of events? It certainly looks like it's getting that point. 3 to go. Mitchell right on the back of Rainey. Rainey trying to outclass him. Both drivers laying down some fast times here, but it is Mitchell who's laying down the faster of the two. At the faster of the last between all of them with a 20.08. Looking to gain ground, entering at 3 and 4. Another ground gain there. We've got 2 to go. Rainey in trouble. Mitchell is dealing with every ounce of pressure he's got underneath him. Can Mitchell get the corner? He drives it hard off of turn number 2. They're blocking, defending for the inside. But Rainey got rained. Mitchell got inside there. Lets him straighten it back out, but Mitchell takes the lead. Off the white flag, Rainey spins it. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. The yellow flag comes out before Mitchell can get to the white flag, and now his chances may have just dwindled even more. Oh my goodness. My word, what a sequence of events we now are just witnessing here. I thought we could get to the white flag here, but look at this. This is pure desperation mode by the number 17. He knows he's in trouble. He's got lesser tire than what the 4 does. The 4 has the momentum. Look at this block. He sees Mitchell go to the inside. Mitchell says, "You really going to play that?" And goes to the inside. Gives the 17 time to get him squared away. But Rainey over throttles it. Slides it into the turn. And caution flies literally just a matter of inches before Mitchell can get to the finish line first. And my lord, that is a huge, tough break. Look at how close this was. Watch the right side of your screen. There's the white flag. Look at the yellow lights just pop right on as he gets straight onto the line. You can't get any closer than that, my friends. We now are going into overtime. 3 green, white checkers up is for stake. Well, I said at the top of the hour, Martinsville certainly has put up some races we will never forget. I think this one we will probably not forget for a while as the chaos ensued and the pandemonium continues to come on to this track. I really have no idea who the heck is even going to be able to finish this race, let alone win it. So the time has come. Maybe for the last time, we'll have 3 attempts. Three golden opportunities here. 3 golden tickets either to victory lane or to the shallow realm, depending on where you want to go more. Off the distance. Entering in corner number 3. Down into turn number 4. The lights are on, and we're going racing. Mitchell off the corner will have the jump. Entering into the turn, Michael Dean looking to try to snatch it from him. Looking to give him the bumper. Paul Ellison in the 55 looking to try to recover. Down to the inside zone, looking for the opening. Michael Dean starting to try to gain some ground, but it's Carson Mitchell who has the lead entering on the turn number 4. White flag is now out. We are going to get this one in. Which one will it be? Mitchell with a huge lead on Dean. Ellison trying to get one more grab up for the inside. Looking for the run on Dean. Dean throws the block. Ellison tries to get around him. It's not going to happen. Off of turn 3 and 4, Greg Roberts gets slammed into the back. And Carson Mitchell will win at Martinsville. And a huge wreck ensuing on that back front straightaway, trying to get him to the finish. Oh my lord. A huge wreck ensues, and drivers just trying to get across the finish line with many of them stabbed in the back. And ominously enough, one driver kind of pirouetting and looking like what we saw with one name of Kevin Harvick a long time ago with Kyle Busch on the track. But what an impressive finish and race to the end. Carson Mitchell, without a doubt, popped this one into victory lane for a good reason. He knew he had this one ready to race and ready to rumble. And he gave it everything he had and then some. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to bring this one home. And Martinsville Speedway, your race winner. The DDD&D Invitational winner. I'm not even going to try to name the race out. You guys kind of know what it is by now. What a performance. And a final end leg for these guys in the race here on this track, giving it everything they had at a short track stint and a very tight pace. If it wasn't kind of obvious, we know tempers are going to be flaring here with some of these guys, but I think at the same time, it just makes it that much more satisfying and fun to watch. Let's take a look at our race results now, popping up on your screen. This is the Dodge Duck Dip and Dive and Dodge Invitational Finale race results. Carson Mitchell, with a last gasp, a last run, manages to secure this one. Mike Goldine goes second. Paul Ellison brings home third. Fourth to Stephen Durham. Fifth to Greg Roberts. Sixth to Kyle Dumig. Seventh to Garrett Rainey. Eighth to Ryan Dye. Pascal Samar Pace goes ninth. And 10th, Rodney Roberts, managing to hold on to the top 10 spots. The rest of your finishers on your screen now, as well as the top 3 drivers will be joining me here on PTM Racing TV right here and now. And the first up of the bunch, of course, here will pilot the number 55 here as he tried to fall in line with the scheme and fall in line with the race. It's Paul Ellison in the 55. And Paul, congratulations on the top 3 here. And I hate to be kind of inaccurate with that movie, but, you know, in the Dodgeball movie, didn't the team you have on that truck end up coming in second with this one? And it looks like I kind of followed the movie pretty well, but what a performance there late in the run, sir.
Yeah. In the movie they came in second, but I finished third, but led the most laps, so I got that. Honestly, I should not have pitted. I should have just stayed out.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a wild ride there, a bit of a wild little get. I know you wanted to try to keep that lead, but I mean, how bad were those tires though in that fuel run? Because eventually, I got a feeling this thing was getting tore up at some point.
I figured they were horrible, but it was actually 92 on the right front, 93 on the right rear.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Ellison, as you kept this thing in line charge all day. I mean, third place finish here. Who do you want to thank for this?
Just thank CJR Graphics for my normal paint schemes, Ryan Dye for this paint scheme. Just everybody does the league and runs it.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless here, Ellison, congratulations on this, and we'll catch you next time out, bud.
Thank you, you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Ellison in the 55 comes away third out of the bunch here. And definitely going to be an interesting little run out here for the track in these fields here. But let's take a listen in with Michael Dean in the number 73. He now joins me here on the show here as he comes to us here in the second place spot. Michael, congratulations on a second place finish here, sir. And, you know, this one got a little wild there coming to the end, coming to the line. I mean, how tough was it for you and this crew?
Yeah, man, it was a rough race all night. Just bumper to bumper, beating and banging. I thought I could get it back up to Carson, and I was just going to take him the second lap around on that green-white checkered. And it turns out I should have done it in the first turn.
For sure there. I know you try to go for broke, kind of go for a big, but at the same time, you're trying to run a clean little end here and trying to figure out, you know, if it was worth it or not. But, I mean, at the same time, it's so hard to kind of have to drive that thing in deep because you know you got to stick it in there somehow to try to keep Mitchell on his toe, right?
Yeah, definitely. I probably should have used him as my brakes going into that first corner. But can't be happier with the second. This is the best finish of the season so far. Real proud of my team. You know, a few of us had some bad luck, and you know we'll be back here next week, going right back again.
Absolutely. Well, we can't wait to see that, and then some here. Dean, though, as you come away second, who you want to talk to or thank you for this one?
Just the team, the league, my family, Jamie. Just happy to be here, man.
For sure there. But nevertheless here, we appreciate you coming on board here, and we definitely want to see more of you here.
Thank you, Christian. Have a good one.
You too. Michael Dean, ladies and gentlemen, the 73. And, okay, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't normally do this, nor do I ever try to do this, but the fans have asked for this, and they want to hear from him, so we're going to bring him in. Your 7th place finisher, Garrett Rainey, now joins me here. And, Garrett, let's just talk about this one for a second real quick, because 3 and 4, it gets wild. You throw the block in the back straight away, you go for broke, and everything just goes completely haywire from there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's racing, short track race. It's he was going for the win. I was trying to keep him from getting there, and I went in about half a lane high. He was underneath me, and that's just never going to stick there. You know, I would have loved to get that first elusive win, but it's not this week. Maybe next week.
Well, judging by this performance here late in the race and late on the track, I obviously can tell you, man, sooner or later this will come, and this will be definitely in your position. But if you could have done anything differently, would you have tried maybe to try to lay it off on the speeds on the fuel so the tires don't turn up, or do you feel like this really was the best this truck could give until that late bit?
Well, I got wrecked early, had a lot of damage, and I was just kind of fighting for broke from there. Pit cycle just kind of fell my way. I was doing all I could do to keep the truck together the last 50 laps of the race, honestly. I don't feel like there was anything I could have done differently. I mean, I was doing all I could do just to stay out front and run consistent lap times with the guys behind me. No, I just that's all I had, man. It was all I had. With a clean truck, I feel like it would have been a little bit different, but with the damage I had, there's just, I mean, I did all I could do there.
Coming from experience, Rainey, a driver to driver, I know your pain. I've finished second year twice in this place and some heartbreaking finishes, but keep your head up, keep yourself ready to go here for the next go around, man. You always will have a chance. But nevertheless, here, is there anybody else you want to thank for today here for this finish, at least on the track?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good race. I still came away seventh. No issue there. I do want to thank Ryan Dye, my team owner. He was doing the best thing a teammate could do there towards the end, trying to hold him off for me. Also, like to thank my sponsor, Golden Eagle Syrup. That is a sponsor I've acquired for the last 2 seasons. They really helped me out a lot, and I want to thank my wife and kids for putting up with me doing this, man. I do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Rainey, congratulations, man. And again, that race win eventually is coming, brother. Just keep your time and keep going.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 17, Garrett Rainey, a little humbled here as he finishes this one out. But I'll tell you, one driver that is going to be happy knowing he put the fight and the fray up on the track the first time we see him in PTM Racing TV's Victory Lane Circle. Ladies and gentlemen, Carson Mitchell. And Mitchell, my friend, you literally had to drive this thing into the ground with one last big hurrah and one last big fight. And, you know, we just talked to Rainey there. I think you were listening too. He gave it everything he had, but you were just a little bit better entering in that turn. At the same time, it was a bit of a wild little Martinsville turn, wasn't it?
It certainly was. It's not really a win I'm proud of. I feel really bad for Garrett, and honestly, if I had the chance and went back and could do something different, I definitely would.
If you could have done differently, would you maybe have tried in your mind to just let him get a chance to kind of recover and try to clutch him on the outside, or try to cross him over entering off 4, or how do you feel like this could have changed a little differently for you?
I feel like if I could have backed out, he probably would have overdriven the corner. He'd done it a couple times before, and I felt like that was, I don't know why I thought that was my chance. It could have been, and it could have worked out well, but it didn't. And I hate it for Garrett. I hate that it turned out that way, honestly.
For sure there. Well, I mean, at the same time, though, we all got to kind of know as well, this race, as chaotic as it was, it is part of the historical nature that is Martinsville. So, with that being said, though, I mean, I think we'll all kind of come away from this and see how it ends up playing out. But, Mitchell, you are going to be the race winner today, sir. So, I mean, I know you're probably a little humble to take it, but who do you want to thank here for this?
Want to thank my virtual pit crew. They've done some amazing work, to be able to have me win 2 races in a row. That's pretty awesome. This season's all about, I don't know, it was originally trophy chasing, but I feel like now I'm back in the hunt, with these last 2 races after some abysmal start or finishes these past 3 races. So, hopefully we can keep the momentum going in the next week.
Well, this performance, I'd say, definitely says otherwise about missing out. I think you have a chance here. So, nevertheless, though, congratulations on this win today, Mitchell. Great to see you in Victory Lane, sir.
Appreciate it, Christian.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carson Mitchell coming away with the race win and a big victory for him and his crew here as he will pilot the 4 down on the top spot. Race fans, thank you so much for tuning in today, and to the fans at home for coming on board. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We certainly love you guys for it. 2 things to know. Dirt race coming up tomorrow, the 100 for 100. It's going to be a great showcase there. And thank you again to the support of the fans saying great broadcast as well. We really appreciate you guys for that. Also, Friday night, if you have nothing to do, you like to have fun, you want to have some derby action, join us. Only $15 a pop. We will be hosting the Super Money Race on the dirt, Enduro Derby, baby. It's time to see who can outlast the rest. We'll find that out then soon enough. But for now, race fans, thank you so much for your support. We'll see you guys next time when the green flag flies on PTM Racing TV. Bye now.